All right, so just as a reminder for the research project, so you are already starting off with your question. That's what we did before the break, so you're good to go. And then the next part is finding the evidence to answer this question, finding the resources that you can use to answer the question. So, again, just to give you another brief overview of the project itself, research question to begin with, three sources that you are finding to answer that question, and then from those three sources you'll create 30 note cards. Eventually we're going to create a thesis statement and put it in our outline. We'll turn that outline into a first draft and then a final draft with the bibliography. Now, one thing I wanted to review very quickly is the different types of sources that exist. Now, a source is just a place that we get information from. It's a document that gives us information. And there's two different types of sources that we talk about in history: primary sources and secondary sources. So you'll see on the left-hand side, primary sources are sources that were created during the time period that is being studied. So it could be a diary that was written by somebody living at the time, a newspaper that was written during the time period, an official record or government document, so a census record, or maybe birth records from a certain hospital, or maybe government spending records from that time period. It could be poems that were written by people in that time period, photographs taken during that time, paintings or novels that were written in that particular period. It could even be music that was created during that time period. We can learn things from the music of other cultures or of past societies, or it can be an autobiography because, again, that's something that's written by someone who was living at the time. The secondary sources over on the right-hand side, these are going to be things that interpret or analyze primary sources. So these are going to be things like encyclopedias or textbooks, magazine articles, commentaries, papers that you might read from an academic, so a professor, or a nonfiction book that is published about a certain topic. So again, primary sources created during the time period, written as a first-hand account, and secondary sources is somebody else taking that information and interpreting it in their own way. So, examples of primary sources. You have hieroglyphics from Egypt. You have down at the bottom left-hand corner, the crossing of the Delaware, this famous painting depicting George Washington crossing the Delaware. You have the Diary of Anne Frank, which was a series of things written by Anne Frank, who grew up and experienced the Holocaust. You have in the top right-hand corner census records from a past society, or on the bottom right-hand corner, Chicago Daily Tribune, which is a newspaper from Chicago at a certain time. And then secondary source examples would be the textbook, The American Journey, that we use in class, or this book on the left-hand side that you see here called World War II, or even a magazine. Time Magazine published an article about Steve Jobs. It is not a primary source because it's not him writing about his life. It is somebody else's take on Steve Jobs' life. So as you are looking for your sources, you are going to be putting them in EasyBib, and you're also going to be finding them from the Kent Denver Library website. So let's go back to there. Remember, in order to get to the Duncan Center information, you want to go to www.kentdenver.org, and then you want to make sure you go to our program, go down to the Duncan Center. From there, you'll scroll all the way down to Database A to Z List. It may ask you to log in if you are at home. Again, you're going to use your PowerSchool login. So whatever login information you use to get on PowerSchool, that's what you will use to log in. Once you get to this page that I'm looking at here, you're going to search for F. And F, we want to look for facts on file. This is the database that we are interested in. So facts on file, search the collection directly. So here's that login that I was just talking about. We're going to put in our information, and then it'll take us here. Now again, there are several different places you can go to within Facts on File. American History Online, American Indian History, American Women History, etc., etc. I'm just going to click on American Women History just to find an example article. I'm going to go to my search. I'm going to say Women During the Revolution. And I'm going to just choose. Obviously, I'm going to read through this and figure out if this would be a good, reliable source for my topic. But what I want to show you right now is how do you keep track of the articles that you find. So now that you are here in the article, every article on this database, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see something that says citation information. This is absolutely crucial that you are tracking every single place that you are getting your information from. So the nice thing about this database is it cites everything for you. So what you're going to do is remember that that there. I'll show you how to put it in EasyBib in just a second. Let's go over to EasyBib. We were not able to do this in class today, and I don't want to spend time on it tomorrow, so let's go ahead and make sure we take care of this tonight at home. If you do not have an EasyBib account, go ahead and sign up for EasyBib tonight using your same Kent Denver email information, so that way you don't forget and have too many passwords. And if you still have your account from last year, go ahead and log into it. What you need to make sure you do is go up to here where it says hi, comma, your name. This is very important, otherwise you will not be able to do very much in EasyBib. You're going to go down to Settings. You're going to go into Manage Coupon Codes, and you're going to type in KDSBIB2. Then you're going to press Apply. I've already done this, so I'm not going to actually press it, but you want to make sure that you enter this KDSBIB2. This has changed from last year, so even if you used EasyBib last year, you have to make sure you do this, or else you will not be able to do anything in EasyBib. So again, hi Bradley, Settings, Manage Coupon Codes, and once you get in there, KDSBIB2. That should allow you to do everything that you need to do in EasyBib. So what I'd like you to do is create a new project. You will be docked if you do not name your project the right way, so please name it with your last name, Jackson-History Research Paper. You don't need to worry about this subject. You can choose history if you want to. You don't need to worry about what you're writing about. The default style should be Chicago for your paper. Chicago is what all historians use when they're citing information. So default style should be Chicago. You're going to create this new project. And once it is created, you're going to find it and go into it. So I'm looking for Jackson History Research Paper. What you want to do is go into bibliography, and this is how you're going to store all of the information that you find in the databases. So I'm going to go back to my article. I'm going to go, remember, this is my article. I'm all the way down at the bottom where it says citation information. I'm going to highlight this article, or sorry, just highlight this citation right here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back into my EasyBib, and if you put it in here, if you just copy and paste it, it's not going to be very friendly to you. The best way to do this is to go to all 59 options, go to Other on this left-hand column here, write/paste citation, and go ahead and copy and paste it into that citation there, create new citation, and ta-da, it will pop up for you. So again, go into your article in the database, scroll all the way down to the bottom, copy the citation information, the Chicago Manual of Style format, go back into EasyBib, go to all 59 options, write or paste citation, paste it in there, create citation, okay? Your homework for tonight is to do 3 things. If you go to Google Calendar, you will see that your homework tonight is to do 3 things. You are doing the first one right now. Your first assignment is to watch the video. The second assignment is to sign up for EasyBib. And the third assignment is to go ahead and make sure you come to class tomorrow with at least one source in your bibliography in EasyBib. It would be a very good idea for you to go ahead and get ahead on the research process. Tomorrow you will have more time in class to find more sources. If you can find 2 tonight at home, go for it. If you can't, don't stress out about it. You will have all of the time in class tomorrow to work on it. So again, after you're done watching the video, make sure you're signed up for EasyBib. Come to class with one source tomorrow, and then you should be good to go. To prove to me tomorrow that you watched the entirety of this video, I'm going to ask you for a password, and the password answer for tomorrow is going to be strawberry milkshake. So I will ask you, what did I say at the end of the video tomorrow? And that answer is strawberry milkshake. That will prove to me that you watched this all the way through. That's all for today. Thanks, guys.